What is up, guys, and welcome back to the vlog. Before we get too far into today's video, I want to say a massive shout out to today's video sponsor, which is Trade Coffee. With Trade, you can discover new coffees from the nation's top roasters, and the best part is that the coffee gets delivered to your door. For me, I've been going to the grocery store and essentially just picking coffees at random that I thought that I may like, and more times than none, I've been throwing the coffee away because I really just don't like it. So now I found Trade Coffee and those worries are gone. So it all starts with a quiz. So you take a quiz on their website and you let Trade know what types of coffees you'd like, what type of equipment do you have, whether you're doing drip coffee or French press or whatever. Once you complete that quiz, it's going to curate matches for you, and the coffee that gets delivered, I promise you, is what you actually are going to enjoy. So once you finish the quiz, the next step is to choose the frequency of how often you want coffee delivered. The third step is to rate and repeat. So when you get a coffee that you really like, you hop onto the website, you tell Trade, hey, I really enjoyed this coffee, and they're gonna go ahead and they're gonna send you and recommend more coffees to you that are of the similar genre or similar brand. Essentially, they know what types of coffees you are going to enjoy, and they're gonna keep sending you those ones. After you complete those 3 easy steps, you are on your way. A massive thank you to Trade Coffee for sponsoring today's video. If you guys wanna check it out, they're actually doing an offer for you guys. They're gonna do 30% off your first bag by just clicking the link in the video description. It means a ton for you guys to support our sponsors that support the channel. So if you guys drink coffee like me, go ahead, check it out. I know you won't be disappointed, and enjoy today's video.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back. My name is Ricky, and today, as you guys know, we are going to be working on the BMW. On the last video on the BMW, we actually ended up replacing the brown interior with the black one, and it is time for us to take a look at under the hood. We noticed on the initial video how everything is just not tidy, everything is loose. I just did a quick walk around and there's just sensors that are just loose everywhere. Nothing is where it's supposed to be. I believe that one's broken. So what I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna be prepping this engine bay for a quick tune-up. And by quick tune-up, we're gonna do an oil change. We're gonna replace the oil filter. We're gonna replace the air filter. We're gonna replace the cabin filter. And we are going to be replacing spark plugs. I'm gonna try to bolt this back up where it goes. I'm gonna push on the tripod and you guys can see me have fun. Alright, so obviously I'm not a BMW expert. I haven't worked in too many of them. But looking at these spark plugs, get it to zoom in, they don't have 6 sides like every other spark plug. This one actually has like a 12 point, and they're very small. I don't have a tool here, so I just call Mickey if you can get the special spark plug socket for these cars. So now we get to wait. But let me show you what I have so far. Anyway, these are the 6 coils that we took out of the car. Only one had some oil showing on it. The other one was pretty much dry, except that little portion right there and here. But that's very, very minor. So we may have a valve cover gasket leak. We'll find out. This is the cover that was over it, and it's just dirty, something that we can clean up. This is the cabin filter. When I first took off the cabin filter, it looked really good. And then I flipped it around, and you can see how it's actually really bad. This is the air filter, which is not very clean, but it's not too dirty either. The next thing is gonna be the spark plugs once we get the tool, and I ended up removing everything up here on top, which is over here, and it's really dirty, which I'll be cleaning before I put it back in here. So if you guys notice this thing, how it comes out in the, you see how it looks like that? This is what I'm doing. I'm actually gonna be using the same vacuum hose. I'm just gonna cut it so I can take all the excessive fur out, I guess you can say, and then I'm gonna put a heat shrink tubing on it, and it sucks because I'm by myself right now. But I'm gonna melt this on there and pretty much just gonna seal it. Once this is done, I'll cut the tape off again, and then I'll put it back on the vacuum canister like this, and that'll keep it nice and secure, and it will not come off like this again. just like that. It already looks better. I get to secure it right down there and then over here.
All right, well, Ricky's doing a little bit of the engine bay cleanup here. I just got back, picked up a cabin air filter and just an air filter in general. I'm gonna move on to something that's cosmetic. I really wouldn't do it in this stage, but since the lights on the back of this car are so screwed up, we're gonna throw in a new set of taillights that we got. And they're kind of like a LCI style, and it does not require any additional wiring, supposedly. Now I'm digging through the box right now. I'm seeing that there are harnesses in here, so I'm guessing that, oh yeah, I have no additional wiring. Beckerman lied to me, he said there was no additional wiring. However, there is a little harness kit here that needs to be installed on these taillights to make them function properly. So we're gonna go ahead and install that as well. It's actually, I guess Evan called it like an LCI style. So yeah, it is got individual LEDs up here. Looks like they moved the reflector from here down to here. This is lower, the reverse light. Yeah, it's completely rearranged. So
yeah, it's completely different.
Definitely an upgrade, I think.
Yeah, it looks like a G35 now.
Hey. We did actually get a set of struts for the front, because as you guys saw in the previous video, these ones were waxed. So we're gonna go ahead and replace those.
All right, guys, so all I've been doing is cleaning. I haven't been doing much. Mickey came back and the spark plugs are special order. They don't get here until tomorrow morning. So anyways, tomorrow morning, we're gonna be replacing the spark plugs since we have to pick them up. I am still cleaning, as you guys can see, the new air filters in. And the engine bay is looking kind of nice. With our hyper dressing from Meguiar's, you cannot forget my boys. And I also cleaned the valve cover, the valve cover. Is that what?
It is a valve cover.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of weird. And yeah, but I can't put any of that stuff on until we do the spark plug, so I'm kind of like stuck right now. Oh, I gotta do the hood chocks. Well, the hood chocks are working. Oh yeah, look at this, baby. Money.
All right, well, as you guys can see, I've popped the taillights in. They are definitely a better looking light than the factory light. Ricky just went to go wash his hands since we just did the interior. He's gonna jump in, hit the pedals and turn signals, make sure everything works. And then we're gonna move on to the next thing.
Left, right, brake.
Okay, reverse. Maybe the car needs to be on for reverse. Nah, don't start it. But you got no coils in there, so. All right, well, quick light check. They work. All right, so now that we're kind of at a stopping point because we don't have spark plugs, we can't put everything back together. We're gonna go ahead and knock out an oil change on this thing real quick, and we'll get onto the plugs tomorrow. Doctor is in.
Boom.
Got her. Almost. Don't drop it in there. The cool thing about Motul oil is they have these cool little
built-in funnels.
Don't need a funnel. Well, we'll see. Ricky probably will still spill it all over the place.
Never met. Alright guys, it is the next day and we finally got some spark plugs. We got the spark plugs in for the BMW. I still have everything in order here, and after I put the spark plugs in, we're finally gonna be able to start putting this thing back together. Oh yeah, that's right. We have a little surprise. The Save-On hood is here for the BMW. I am definitely gonna be putting that on before I leave, even if I have to do some overtime. I don't care, the hood's going in. I have to see that on before I leave today. So let's stop wasting time and let's get to work. I just pulled off the spark plugs out, and if you guys see here, one and two were clean, everything else was dirty. If you guys see how much oil is in here, that just means that the valve cover gasket, the little grommets are on the center where the spark plug holes go, they just have a very good seal. Me and Mick just got done taking apart everything for us to get the valve cover out. And if you guys notice, whoever had this thing before, silicone, everything in it, we did try to clean it and it's just impossible to get everything out. And because of the entire process that it took for us to take this off, we don't want to run into the chance of us cleaning this, putting a new valve cover gasket, and then still have a small leak. So what we ended up doing right now, Mickey, is ordering a new valve cover so we can have everything done perfectly, and we know for a fact we're not going to have any leaks.
All right, well, Ricky's been over here getting it on with this valve cover. Still. I was doing some research on these N54 oil caps and found out that they are prone to leaking. So we decided we wanted to do something about that. We're trying to get rid of any leaks that could happen on this engine. One of the problems is this oil cap on the N54. It's like you captured on the oil neck, the filler neck, so you can't lose the cap. But the problem with it is your sealing surface is here and here, and it always seems to leak. As you can see, this is covered in old oil. So what happens is it gets past the cap, drains down on here, overflows this, and then drains down the side of the engine. So what we've decided to do, and what is a pretty popular mod on the N54, is actually upgrade to an N55 oil cap, and I think it's exactly what we're gonna need. What do you think, Ricky?
Oh, it actually fits. Take this off? Yeah. Where are you? You can just go down for nose teach.
This hood was actually pretty bad as far as swirl marks and squirrels.
The whole car is pretty bad.
Squirrel marks? What do we got over here?
Woo! More Save-On.
More Save-On.
More Save-On.
Cabron. Carbon.
Carbon. Oh, look at this.
Dang.
Pretty dope, bro.
Again with the covers. This is a new thing. That's the M3 bump in the center with the little vents on the side. So they actually added the beam right here, this beam as support. Okay, so we have to transfer our hood latch. We got removable duct covers, which is pretty nice. Save-On.
This year I'm not messing around.
On the come up.
So the hood's in, and the fitment is actually really, really good. There's still some fine tuning that we need to do, but other than that, overall, by just bolting it in and guessing on the height on the latches and just slapping it in, it's pretty spot on.
Fitment is good here around the grills, and these ones are kind of tough because they come to a point in the center, so if there's any misalignment, it's going to show here.
Right.
We're looking really good there. Save-On's quality is really good. I've been so impressed with the last few hoods that we've done. I would not think twice about buying this product. effort to make this car a little bit nicer, we're going to be putting in a shift boot and Ebrake boot that will go on and actually allow us to remove the crummy ones that were in here from the factory that got wet and shrunk. Oh, hey, look at that. Press-on fit, huh? Woo! Okay, so we gotta retain the handle and we gotta retain the collar. So we'll have to pull the leather off there. You can just cut it probably, Ricky, because it's not usable by anybody.
So hard.
So crusty. Yeah. And then while Ricky's working on getting that done, I'm gonna go ahead and jump on the mirror caps. We're gonna be adding these carbon fiber mirror caps. Now, they don't have any provisions inside for mounting them. They just stick on over top of the factory caps like that. And they came with some M3 tape. And I wanna show you guys this because this is garbage. This is a China knockoff version of 3M's two-sided tape. And you can tell because you never see a 3 and an M side by side. There should be a 3 right there, but there's not. They just put a bunch of M's randomly on this so you think it's 3M tape. And then inside there, they even just put MMM. And I guess you're just supposed to assume that means 3M. We're gonna take it and throw it straight in the trash can and actually use the authentic. This is the real stuff. As you can see, it doesn't come on a cardboard roll, it has a plastic roll. And you actually get to see a 3 and an M next to each other on the roll. We're gonna use this, we're gonna apply it to the back of our carbon caps. They look pretty good, the carbon looks really nice, it'll match the hood. And I'm gonna go ahead and get them applied. Okay, so Ricky got the Ebrake boot and handle out of the car. I went ahead and cut this free. And as you can see, this thing is really tight because it had gotten wet at some point, and this synthetic leather or whatever it is does not like to get soaked. When it gets soaking wet, it shrinks when it dries. And it basically was not even allowing this plastic piece to stay clipped into the center console. It was so tight that it was pulling it out. So Evan was really keen on these BMW M Sport colored boots. So we're gonna go ahead and toss these in. This is gonna go on this Ebrake cover, and this will be for the shifter. And these are from 2M Shift Boots. If you're interested in these for yourself, you can hit them up at 2M Shift Boots. Down below, we'll put that for you guys on Instagram and 2mshiftboots.com. So we're gonna go ahead and get to installing these. I've got to make my own holes for the clips to come through, and I think this will just cinch up around the Ebrake pull the same way that the factory one did, which was zip tied. Well, that was pretty easy. So the shift boot and the Ebrake boot from 2M Shift Boots is installed. And don't mind the center, guys. We're gonna be replacing that with a different colorway. This is the Burlwood or something. We've got our throttle shifter on here, which is pretty dope. Definitely cleans up the interior and replaces a boot that we were missing because we didn't even have a boot. We got our mirror caps installed, full cabron, as Ricky would say, as well as our hood. And you guys know underneath the hood, we were able to knock out the valve cover replacement with a new gasket. Ricky did a killer job under the hood. We got a bunch of look good bits, I guess you call it?
I guess.
Look good bits? I don't know. Car's coming around. It needs a lot of work. She's rough around the edges, but I think we're well on our way to having a nice car. I think we're having a little bit of fun with the general maintenance stuff. We don't...
Yeah, I try not to do BMW.
The BMW and Subaru have been two of the more difficult ones, and unluckily for Ricky, he's been the one tackling the really hard stuff, so I can feel his pain.
It's all right.
All right, guys, that is going to do it for today's YouTube video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And remember, a huge shout out to today's video sponsor, Trade Coffee. If you haven't checked it out yet, the link is in the video description, and don't miss out on that 30% off first bag promotion. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next video.